Karrion Kross and Scarlett have both released statements saying that their WWE contracts have expired and they are now free agents. We've got all of the details in what some are describing as one giant and elaborate storyline, while others are suggesting it is indeed legitimate. Well, there's a documentary that chronicles the last few days of Karrion Kross and Scarlett in WWE, and it's got plenty of interesting details, stories, and revelations. We're going to go through all of them and let you know, if we can, whether this is one elaborate storyline or if indeed Scarlett and Kross are now free agents. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling, and certainly over the last 48 hours, the news cycle has been dominated by the WWE status of former NXT champion Karrion Kross and Scarlett, with them reportedly now being free agents after their contracts with WWE expiring. It's a story that has really filled up the news media websites and social media topics, threads, forums, spaces over the last 48 hours and more, but now Kross and Scarlett have both spoken out. On August 10th, the WWE contracts of Karrion Kross and Scarlett reportedly expired. They were moved to the alumni section of the WWE website, indicating they had departed WWE. Well, a new documentary has been released. In fact, it's part 2 of the killer documentary on Karrion Kross's YouTube channel. And Kross has addressed his contract status and documented his journey to WWE SummerSlam, where he faced Sami Zayn. Kross has also put out a post on social media saying, quote, "Hey, life is fighting, right? Now accepting bookings, business at killerkross.com. See you all again soon." Now, as I mentioned in this documentary, Kross seemingly holds nothing back about the reality behind his WWE contract expiring and his frustrations with WWE management. Here is just a snippet of some of the things he said regarding his contract expiring on August 10th.
They leaked my fucking contract information online. I have no privacy, nothing.
Can't do this here.
So, it's all over the internet. What's the deal with your contract?
My contract is up August 10th.
So, I haven't seen you since April, part 1 of The Killer. What's, how you been?
I'm I've been things are weird. Things are not bad. Things are just very strange. I feel like the following day after WrestleMania and the Sam Roberts podcast,
Sometimes, to do the right thing, you have to do the wrong thing.
I literally slipped into like another timeline, like another world. Yeah, August 10th, it's up. That's another situation that's like on top of everything else going on, that's confusing and stressful, because like I expressed interest to renegotiate in early January with WWE. Like, I think it's crazy. It's like preposterous that anyone would think that I wouldn't want to be here or like go somewhere else. And it's nothing against anywhere else, but like I'm fully committed. I'm here. Like I can't, there isn't a world that exists where I don't think I've ever made that so entirely clear. But maybe it's just the general nature of people, where they think like, you know, in all things, like if something's not working out, they'll go somewhere else. Like I'm really not like that. Like I will bang my head against the pavement until, you know, the sidewalk breaks and we get to the basement. Like it's just the way, I don't know, it's just the way I am. And it's frustrating because like you know, you express your interest to stay and be here and do things, and I'm not going to beg. I've already made it clear. So many months have gone by and never had a single conversation about it until recently. And I don't even feel like the conversation I had recently was like an actual serious one. Like conversation made me really angry because I just didn't feel like it was a real conversation. Someone had contacted me and we had briefly discussed it. It was a very short conversation, and the conversation was done, and there wasn't really anything that was discussed of real substance, and that really, really, really. Actually, it didn't make me angry and it didn't make me upset. It just really profoundly disappointed me. Because I think about this business probably differently than the person I was speaking to, because of the nature of what I do. And when I look around at other people that do what I do, some of them have broken their necks. They sacrifice a lot under the guise of that being appreciated and rewarded fairly. And some of them are no longer here as a result of the life that they lived through, like, the abuse that we subject ourselves in performing. And that's on us. That's not on anybody else. But, like, there's a toll that we all pay to do this, and we know that.
Expressing in words what it meant to meet all those people.
I'm really honestly very touched, but I'm also really fucking, like, I'm just really fucking angry. I'm really angry, actually. Because all of this is starting to set in that this might be it, and they have no idea. Like, I really don't know, this might be it. And, like, there are people that are attaching themselves to us with a sense of hope.
I hope they put you in the title picture, because I'm sick of them not putting you in the title picture.
Stay loud.
You know? I really want you to, like, win the title. You were a great NXT champion, and I like your backstage work, but they need to put you in the ring more.
I agree. Stay loud, man. And you'd never believe it until you hear it or you see it in person. You think, oh, he's making that up. I'm not. And it's making me angry because I feel like there are people trying to fuck with this. And now I have a chip on my shoulder. So I didn't want there to be one. Now there's a fucking chip on my shoulder. Man, I said so much. I wanted to say so much in what I did, and it meant so much on so many other different levels. And that's what that moment was supposed to be. Like, a lot of people thought, like, I was talking about Hunter. Hunter doesn't work in the truck, nor would I ever talk to him like that. He was a wrestler, you know what I mean? Like, I was blown away that people drew a conclusion. They drew some sort of context that it was him. It was a metaphor, you know? And that's basically what happened. And following that, a lot of people were pissed. At Night of Champions, I kept having these reoccurring conversations with the team. They said, the key tonight is to make sure the crowd's reaction stays right for the story. And I told them, don't worry, I'll do my job as the bad guy. And they were so worried the crowd was going to boo when I lost.
So how are you feeling?
Oh.
How's the day going?
Oh, you know, everything's peachy. Feels weird, man. Like, this might be the last one, which is fucking insane to think and say, but things are very weird, but I'm going to give it everything I got, as I always do. I'm going to give it every single fucking thing I got.
I know you will.
And if this is it, I'm really going to miss it.
There's some rumblings on social media, whatever the case may be. Is there a chance that we could see Karrion Kross and Scarlett moving forward on Monday Night Raw?
I hope so. I see things being written online right now, specifically today.
Yeah.
A lot of what I read is not true. I hate to disappoint people, but I don't want to bullshit. But I hope so. I hope we do come back. So I try to be delicate while also being honest. And I get questions like this all the time, and I'm not really sure how to go about it because I don't want anyone to feel slighted, because I don't always think it's malicious, but sometimes I am really lost and very confused on why we're not leaning into things that make sense. We're not leaning into things that clearly are working, that are beneficial for all parties. And I'm not in control of those decisions. The only thing I can be in control of is doing the best I can with what I'm given. And it's probably the hardest part of the gig. When you know you can give more and they tell you, hey, don't home run that. Hit that to the outfield and run to second. And make sure you stop on second. Do not run home. And then one day, you don't hit the home run, but you hit it far enough so you know you can run past second and you do run home. You're on the court, you're playing basketball. They tell you to pass the ball, but you've got a 3-point shot right there. We're all on the same team. We're trying to win the game. You shoot, you get the 3 points. They're mad at you? Why? Why are they mad at you? Why are they mad about the extra 3 points? They wanted the other guy to shoot it? Like, what's going on here?
Isn't that the very definition of being concerned?
Sure is.
Now, a lot more details will come courtesy of Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, who has indeed confirmed that Karrion Kross and Scarlett's WWE contracts are up. And according to Sapp, the situation appears to be legitimate unless WWE has taken measures they've not taken before with departures. Now, Kross and Scarlett, according to this report, had told people that had asked in recent months that their contracts were indeed set to expire in August, which happened over the weekend on August 10th. The two were moved to the alumni section of WWE's website. Ashanti the Adonis also revealed that his contract had expired. There were no other departures over the weekend. All three reportedly were removed from the company's internal roster. Now, Fightful have been told that Kross and Scarlett are likely to address their situation in the next couple of days, which we have seen through this documentary that has been released on Kross's YouTube channel. Those that Fightful spoke to in WWE claim that Kross and Scarlett were originally slated to travel to WWE Monday Night Raw last Monday, but their travel was changed by the company and they weren't at the show. Clips of Kross's match with Sami Zayn did air, but no mention of Kross fulfilling the stipulation of admitting he was wrong about Zayn occurred, which had led plenty of people to discuss if indeed he was actually gone from WWE. Now, Fightful say they haven't confirmed if they had been presented a contract offer, but WWE sources indicated a number of months ago that they had told Kross that a conversation would be coming. Now, whether or not that happened, Fightful say they don't know. Karrion Kross does allude to a contract discussion having been done recently that he wasn't happy with. We'll talk about that in just a second. Now, the Wrestling Observer reported last week that they believed a contract offer had been made. As of that time, Kross, as you saw in the clip that we just aired, denied that to be the case. Now, Fightful have not been able to confirm if indeed an offer was made or not. They had also claimed to people in the industry that there was no notice of expiration from WWE, and those are usually standard from WWE when a deal is coming up. There were a number of WWE talent that Fightful say they spoke to that were surprised things came down to the wire like this. WWE had been getting ahead of contracts in the last year and a half since former EVP of talent Dan Ventral left the company. One top talent simply said they hope it gets sorted out, and the two remain with the company. As with their future, Fightful say they've reached out regarding interest and possibilities outside of WWE. Though they didn't have a pleasant exit from TNA, that regime has been completely changed within the company, so that is also an option. Specifically, when Fightful say they reached out to higher-ups in TNA, they said there was no ill will. However, there is an active WWE partnership that could affect the possibility of Kross and Scarlett both there and also, of course, with AAA. Kross worked regularly for AAA over 2 years before joining WWE in his first time around. Scarlett also worked in AAA a number of times. In fact, her debut is still the most viewed AAA clip on the company's YouTube at 35 million views. The next closest is 10 million views. On the indies, Kross worked numerous Bloodsport shows and does have connections to GCW. Even then, the wrestling landscape outside of WWE is largely different than 3 years ago. AAA is owned by WWE. TNA has a partnership with WWE. Kross also, though, has a good relationship with major Major League Wrestling, but they run events less frequently now. New Japan Pro Wrestling also booked Kross for their strong brand in the United States, but that's been done for a couple of years, and New Japan has only ran 3 standard shows in the USA this year. When Fightful said they asked MLW higher-ups about their thoughts, they figured the situation was a work, and the two would be rewarded for their work over the last year on screen. They said if it isn't, the two won't be out of work for long. Sources in WWE, both talent on the talent end and the creative end, claim they've been told that as of now, their departure is indeed legitimate and real. To make it clear, there's always the possibility that Kross and Scarlett's situation is a work, and Fightful have long said that it wouldn't benefit them to tell people that they've signed. As a result, many of the promoters that Fightful have spoken to aren't sure if they should be reaching out to Kross or Scarlett. If it is a work, Scarlett, Kross, WWE higher-ups are in on it together, and creative and talent are being worked. But again, that's nothing new, since we've seen talent being worked in the past with returns like CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, among others. Now, these are the facts as Fightful say that they know them. This comes courtesy of Sean Ross Sapp. He said, quote, Kross and Scarlett's 3-year WWE contracts were scheduled to go until August 10th. When asked by wrestlers, agents, and others in the industry, Kross and Scarlett claimed they did not have new contracts or had been offered new contracts. So if they're working, they're also working a lot of those people too, which again isn't impossible, but it's seen as unlikely. They also claimed to sources in the industry they hadn't been told their deals wouldn't be renewed as of a week ago, which again is strange considering if talent's contracts are let to expire, they're usually told by WWE that is going to happen. Now, WWE higher-ups did say this weekend to Fightful that Kross and Scarlett's appearance on the WWE alumni page was a contract expiration. However, when Fightful reached out in an official capacity, no on-the-record confirmation of their departure was given. WWE in an official capacity doesn't typically speak on ongoing negotiations. They were, according to Sapp, removed from the internal roster, and many were notified in the company of the departures. Fightful itself has not reported that Kross and Scarlett have been offered a new deal. They say they don't have that information. Talent believed they would be. A number of wrestling companies don't know if they could/should reach out because they aren't sure if the situation is legitimate or not. So there is the concern of contract tampering, but they don't know if they have a contract or not. Now, WrestleVotes have posted today as well, saying, quote, for what it's worth, there are people within WWE corporate with no ties to creative or anything else storyline-wise who are under the impression that Karrion Kross and Scarlett are no longer with the company. But once again, this is pro wrestling, and anything and everything could be a very elaborate work. Now, Karrion Kross also in this documentary spoke about maybe the pushback that he was receiving from WWE when it came to his fan support, suggesting that it would go away and not to listen to him. This particularly upset Kross. Here's what he had to say.
Well, now you got me!
Like, I remember in the beginning there were some people saying, like, hey, I wouldn't take it seriously, it's not gonna last, or, you know, let's see if it's for real when you go out there tonight, if it's still there. We're in a different city, we're in a different state. And then when it was still there, and it got louder and louder and louder every week, that went away, and then it was kind of like, well, you know, not really ready to fully embrace that. I was being told by certain people not to, don't acknowledge it, which felt really wrong, because having a connection with the audience, especially one that is like this doesn't just come around for everybody. And it wasn't something that was constructed or thought of. This happened organically through a series of events, and I wouldn't even say it's just from something that's happened recently this year. This is something that is happening because of what has happened over the last 3 years. We're getting to a tipping point, I believe. And it can be said, it can be stated that it started because I punched through something. And everybody saw what was on the other side of that. But I don't feel like we're all collectively going in the direction that the audience would like us to go in. And it's just that part doesn't feel good. It's like I said, things feel fucked. It's impossible to ignore it. And I don't want people to feel like they're being ignored, and a lot of them do, which is why it's getting louder. And I knew this was going to happen. If we didn't lean into what the audience was asking for and what they wanted to see, they're going to get louder. Pretending it's not there or convincing ourselves that it's going to go away, it's not. And this isn't by a clever design either. Like a lot of people thought, and were telling me that, you know, it's going to go away. I knew it wasn't. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. What I would like to happen, I would love to stay with WWE. And I'd love, ideally, to finish my career there. I really would. I don't know what's going to happen, though. Like, me building a relationship and having a relationship with the audience, sometimes by certain people, to me, it feels like they're treating it as I'm being rebellious, or I'm like, it's treated almost like it's a problem that this has happened. And that should not feel that way. This should not be treated like it's a problem. It makes it feel like, you know, you outperformed, or you got ahead of something that they didn't think you were going to get ahead of, and they don't like that you've gotten ahead of it. That is the way it feels. And that's not a good feeling. And that's based on conversations, things people have said. Like, when you mentioned the merchandise. When that started to blow up, I had no idea until fans started pointing it out online. So I go back to my points of contact in the company, and I asked them, I'm like, hey, is this true? And they're like, we don't know. How do you not know? So I wanted to know if it was true. So I did some digging, and I come to find out it is true. You know, the character, Karrion Kross, me, whatever, like we became a top seller through fan engagement, which is amazing. And people can say whatever they want about the online fans. I know the negativity is not welcomed, and they're not going to create and book around that. I understand that part, but support online is different, because a lot of the fans online are just people that are in other states that couldn't make it to the current state of the show we're in on a Monday. And they'll be there next week when you show up to their city or their town. It was the online community that put that merch up there. So, you know, like, trivializing the online community in broad strokes, like, look, not everybody's going to love you. Not everybody's going to like you. And the more you try to make them love you and the more you try to make them like you, they'll hate you even more. They just make a decision. That's people sometimes. It could be about anybody or anything. I get it, not like pandering to negativity, but support is a totally different energy that we should be welcoming. And then that support translated from online into the buildings gradually over time.
It makes it unpredictable. It's you have it. You've got it. Yeah, you want Brock, you've got it. So, yeah, just incredible to have him back.
So, what do you think? Do you think it's a work? Do you think it's legitimate? As of right now, we still don't know either way. Of course, if we get any more details, we'll let you know in an upcoming video. But let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. We're now less than 300 subscribers until 24,000. So be sure to subscribe. Join the ever-expanding WNU, that being the Wrestling News universe. Remember, you can become a member of the WN365 roster. Links in the video description below. You can scan the QR code right there on the sidebar. And we'll be back with more news stories and countdown videos very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.